Welcome to another edition of the Wonderberry Podcast.
I'm Brian,
I'm Dave.
and you can find us online at wonderberry.com.
You can find me online at Open Darkwing.
And you can find me online at briankeesbury.com.
Got it up and running, huh?
It
Sort
is
of.
up and running, and content is coming out.
Well, that's good. How are you?
Oh, I'm alive.
Alive is good.
Not horizontal.
Hey, not horizontal, and you're standing on your own 2 feet.
Some days.
Some days, yeah, right?
Yeah, I got my website up. It's all managed with uh it's all managed on by it's a WordPress.
Of course it is.
As I talked about, because I had just kind of decided to keep it simple. WordPress has the ability to post all sorts of content forms. So I can post, audio, video, images. I can post short form text, long form text, anything and everything you can think of, I can post on it. I can do a blog roll, I can build pages. I can build anything into the site that I want to.
Yeah.
So I can even I'm working on trying to get it connected into get the activity pub connected so it'll be built into like the federated social. That
Yep.
way stuff that I post it'll like feed out into like Mastodon and Friendly and eventually Threads. That way, I have one. I'll just have one place where I post and it'll feed out to everywhere, and I don't have to worry about like having multiple places.
Yeah. No, that works.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
And
still
that'll
trying to
be,
figure out what I want to do with all that. I don't know if I want to go WordPress or not. Just
dude.
because for what I'm doing, I find it horribly bloated.
It's. I think they're shifting gears and cleaning everything up. Like from what it used to be, everything has been getting a lot simpler. And I know there's still some bloat there, but it seems like they're on a path to simplifying things and making stuff cleaner.
That would be nice.
Yeah, it's like every time I get an update, like there's some stuff missing that I didn't use, and I'm like, cool. I'm glad that's gone. So, uh, it does keep getting better and better, and I feel like Automatic as a company is on a path to like make the company as a whole better. So
That would be nice.
that's kind of why I was like, well, I feel good about their path, so I don't feel bad about, you know, throwing myself in their boat.
Yeah, they've just established a long time quasi reputation of just being overtly bloated, and especially if you have to watch system resources.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is
They're really bad about that.
I pay a company to do that, so
Yeah. Yeah, so you pay for like a shared hosting environment then.
yeah.
Yeah, I was doing the shared host been doing the shared hosting environment for I don't know, 25 to 30 years, and I've just recently switched or in the process of switching over to a unmanaged VPS, which means I do everything myself now, and that's been a trip to
See, I
almost
was
throw away everything that I've ever known because my knowledge of web server management is about 20 years out of date.
yeah. See, I was
So
doing that.
I'm getting to
And
learn of really some new stuff that's been actually not half bad to learn. It's been a little frustrating at times, but
yeah.
the nice thing
I
is that I joined. It's called Vulture, and if you go through a link or whatever, they give you like $250 off from anything for the first month.
hmm,
So I've been able to take this time to kind of play around while I'm running the servers on two ends, play around with stuff and learn. And you make a mistake, you can just throw the entire server away and rebuild it.
yeah.
So I think I've rebuilt this server probably about a 2 dozen times by now, and I think I finally figured out the workflow of what I'm doing. So
Nice.
now it's just going to be slowly moving my websites over, which I might need your help with something
Okay.
because I'm going to need to move a WordPress site and migrate it to a new server.
Okay.
So I've never done that before. And I'm a little nervous because it's for someone else, not for one of mine.
Hmm. First thing you want to do is install Jetpack and make a backup.
And that'll back up
Uh,
database and everything, right?
Yep.
Yeah, no, I knew I was so I'm gonna back up if there's a so I know that WordPress has a migration plugin as well that's apparently pretty good.
I think that's part of Jetpack. Jetpack is another part.
Oh, another overtly bloated plugin that tries to do everything?
No, it's it's another. So Automatic is like the overall company, and WordPress is like one of the companies,
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah, 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 yeah.
and Jetpack is a company that does some of the software. It does like their plugins. So it's like a plugin that does like their it does the backups, it does kind of the SEO checks, it does the social sharing, um kind of some of that stuff. Kind of some of the back end stuff that you don't see as much. So,
Okay. Yeah, I think so. My current hosting platform, I can clone the website. So I'm
mhm,
thinking about just taking one of my what do you call it? The standoff domains that are just kind of placeholders at the moment because I bought a handful of domains as placeholders.
yeah,
And I'm thinking about cloning it to that just so that I can play with the migration and transferring system
mm,
and to see if that will work. Just so I can kind of do it 3 or 4 times so that I know what to expect, what I'm going to have to do on the new site, what changes I need to make it work and all that.
yeah,
So it's going to be interesting, but I think I'm going to try it that way. I'm going to back up the database from the like my SQL manager and back everything up in multiple ways before I even start to attempt it.
yeah. There's also a like built-in import tool
Yep.
that that's
Yeah,
pretty
so
handy.
I think I just want to make sure that I have everything backed up in multiple ways.
Mhm.
That way if something fails, it doesn't corrupt anything. That's
Yeah.
what I'm mostly worried about, something fucking getting corrupted.
Yeah. The jetpack one should like do a full backup. It'll like back up the theme, all the pages,
Yeah,
all the database,
because
everything about the site,
I
and
have this
then move it.
amazing piece of luck that if there's a 1 in 100 chance that something's going to go wrong, I'm 4 of the 1.
Yeah.
The amount of times that I've contacted support for something and they say, well, that shouldn't happen. And I'm like, yeah, and here it is. And they said, well, I've worked here for 12 years and I've never seen this before. That's me. It's wonderful. But yeah, I know I decided for the new one. Like a lot of times when someone is managing like multiple sites on one server, right? They'll
Yeah.
use Apache 2 and vhosts. I decided not to go that route because I got tired of certain things conflicting on, you update PHP to something for 4 of your sites, and 2 of them it creates conflicts and errors. So I decided to learn to use Docker. And so I am building each individual site in its own Docker container. So everything is all compartmentalized. And then I use a reverse proxy to guide the domains and the requests in throughout. So, the only external ports all go to my reverse proxy, and then it gets fed out to the individual sites.
That's why I'm doing everything with WordPress and a shared hosting. And so
Yeah, so
if WordPress updates and PHP updates, they all update together
yeah,
and
so
nothing breaks.
I'm running a genealogy site as well, and it's very picky for the software side, very picky on certain things being turned on or turned off that conflict with WordPress.
I am also turned on about genealogy sites, Dave.
Wife's done most of the work so far on her genealogy site. I need to start catching up on mine, but I'm gonna wait till I migrate it to the new site.
Yeah.
But yeah, being able to just throw it in a Docker container, and that way
What
nothing conflicts anywhere else. It's all individualized. Databases are all individual. Like everything just runs in itself is really nice.
what do you use for your genealogy site?
We've been using Humo Genealogy.
Humo. Okay.
They've been around for fucking ever.
Yeah.
I might look at some other ones, but it does import and export GenCon files.
Nice. I'd been looking at a few different ones. I'd set up a few different ones and not liked them. Guys, some of them just look like crap.
This one looks like crap, but I think I can theme it. I just have
Yeah,
to take the time to do it because right now it looks very 90s.
yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
keep running into.
Go to wonderly.family and you'll see what I mean.
Yeah.
It's quite impressive of how bad that looks.
Woo! Dave, 1999 called.
I stopped making websites that look like that in 99 to make them look better. Yeah, it's entirely impressive of how bad that looks.
I would encourage all 3 listeners to type this in. Oh my God. You know what else I'm going to do is I have my phone in my hand. So I'm going to do this because I need to see what this looks like on my phone.
So I think what I'm gonna end up doing is sitting down with the wife, and
Oof.
we're gonna find a much better looking one that's much more modernized. And then I'm gonna figure out how to migrate all the work that she's poured into it. Because I mean, she's done. There's a lot of entries
I,
in there.
I love how the title of the site just says website.
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely yeah.
This is beautiful, Dave.
Yeah, it will. I can. There are other themes, and I can do a lot more with it. But oh yeah, so it's been. It was designed in 1999, so we were right on the money on that one.
Yep.
I don't
There we
think
go.
they've updated. I think we're using the same basic
That's that's great.
golden, isn't it?
Yeah. So I've been looking at some WordPress family tree stuff, like to build family trees inside of WordPress,
Oh really?
so that like each person would have a post or a page where you would build like their information in, and they would be connected together on a page, and you could build different typographical interfaces, and you'd have like a full, you'd have like different uh pages that could have different tree types on them, um and then you kind of like click through and see like, oh, this is this person's like direct family. So like I could click on my grandpa and show like my grandpa and my grandma, and then like his kids, or I could like have it show like their kids and grandkids or whatever, and like have that be like a page, and then like the posts could be like specific people or whatever. Um been looking at a couple of different options like that, because I bought Keesbury.com, and I was at my family reunion over the weekend, so I was talking to a couple different cousins. I say cousins, but they're like extended, like second cousin twice removed. You get into those things, but we
Oh yeah.
just decided we're cousins. So we I talked to a few different ones, and we'd all had gone through the family tree a few different which ways, and um, trying to figure out how to like collectivize our separate informations and get it all put together in a way. And so I think I'm gonna be put in charge of like getting the website set up, and getting everybody attached to it, so that we can get the information put together and figure out how to do that. I think I've settled on one, but the the one the I think the plugin that I want to use, there's a lifetime, uh like a lifetime license to use the plugin, was like $150.
Interesting.
So I think I might like take that to my like direct family, like not my like my uncles and stuff. Be like, hey, fund this.
Yeah.
So, or just
Yeah. So it's
maybe I'll just pay for it and then put a little donation button on the website.
yeah,
Hey,
self-hosting it's not that expensive.
yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, I already pay for the hosting, but just be like, hey, it cost me this much a year to cover this.
Yeah.
Feel free to buy me a coffee. Little, put a little PayPal button on it.
There you go.
But
Help
yeah,
button.
I think I'll get that set up, and then we can compare what you've done to what I've done, and see what
Yeah,
we
I'm
think.
looking at a couple of different ones. I want to find out what the theming convention and how to theme Humo is, because if I can do that and we don't have to re-input anything, I'd much rather do that.
Yeah.
Just because, we've spent, Hill's spent a year and a half inputting stuff in there, and I don't want to. All right, all that work you did, fuck it, because that's not nice or fair.
Well,
And
I know with
I was stuck with this one because that was the only one that was in the script thing for deploying out the scripts thing, because the shared hosting is a pain in the ass to install something customized.
yeah. I know with the
Which is
one
another
that
reason why I left the self-hosting or the shared hosting thing.
I have does allow you to import GenCom and stuff too.
Yeah. Well, we didn't start with the GemCom file. We just started from scratch. Everything we have imported, we've done ourselves. So that's another thing that's just like, holy shit. That's a lot of work. Almost 1,000 entries. And not just names, but like information. Like she's gone real detailed with information and stuff. So definitely not something I just want to fuck it all. But there's a
Yeah.
few of them that I've been looking at.
Yeah.
Web trees is a big popular one that I kind of want to check out.
I think that's one that I had looked at too.
There's web trees, there's Gramps, there's Humo is one that I'm using. Apparently there's one called TNG, which is the next generation of genealogy, that I might take a look at. So yeah, I don't know. Most of these, there's someone's built a nice little Docker instance for it, so I can just pull and run the Docker container, and just have to add some stuff to get it to connect through properly.
mm-hmm.
Because it's like it's fairly simple, but it's still, it takes a little bit of time. The next thing I want to start playing with a little bit is like a Mastodon instance or some sort of Fedverse instances of stuff. I got to figure out what I want to do. Because I haven't fully decided yet which direction I'm going to go for that.
Yeah. See, that's why I was doing WordPress. That way I can build that all into the one set situation. I don't have to build a separate instance for any of that.
Yeah, but like I said, because I use so many different things, it gets very cluttered trying to run everything in one single instance.
Meh.
Because then it's, I don't know. Especially when it comes down to system resources, and that's because I'm using a VPS. That's the other thing too, is I'm gonna scrape my freaking cost in half. So I spend $15 a month or so on my shared hosting, and my VPS will be about $6 a month. And I can spin up and spin down servers as needed. Like we were talking about doing the gaming, where we would just turn it on while we were using it and then turn it off. I can do that as well. And it should work out just fine, hopefully. So, I mean, there's just a lot more flexibility you can do with a VPS or with, your own server and managing your own stuff versus relying solely on on what they put together and what they manage and what they'll let you do and not let you do. The other biggest thing that I've kind of figured out recently is what I'm going to be doing with mail hosting. And so, because I don't know if I want to host my own mail servers anymore, it gets very complicated. It gets very iffy and very bleh. So what I've done end up doing is I found out that if you pay for a business account, it's a monthly fee on Proton Mail, which is a very secure mail system. Um, I get like 3 domains and like 15 or 20 inboxes for a small business, like a single small business account for like $7 a month or $6 a month or something. So that's going to be where I'm going for mail solutions. And then I'll just figure out for the other guys that I host for, I'll just let them know that they need to come up with their own mail solutions. And yeah, they can either go with like Google Workspaces, they can go with Proton. There's a bunch of mail solutions out there that they can use and utilize to get, or they can just have it forwarded through their, I think every registrar, or most registrars will forward the email system. So they can get it as a forward to an existing account, or they can set up something like I know with Google, I think with Pork Bun, although I haven't played with it or tried it yet, you can set up email forwards as long as the name servers point back to their services. They'll set up email forwards for you and everything.
Nice.
So that's what I'm looking at right now for mail.
I haven't totally decided what I want to do for mail yet, but I'm
Like I
debating
said,
on
Proton is really kind of nice.
Nice.
You pay for their small business account and you get like 3 domains and like 15 inboxes per user.
I am considering on switching back to my me at Brian Keesbury email and ditching my Brian.Keesbury email.
Yeah, I think what I'm going to end up doing is building a couple of boxes. I think I've got 3 boxes that I want to run and then have everything else be forwards. I think that's how I'm going to go. Because there's at least 2 that I use that I want to keep completely separated, and 1 that I'm pretty sure I want to keep separated. And they're on 3 different domains. But yeah, no, I've been happy with Pork Bun as a domain registrar.
Cool.
Their DNS edits and stuff are actually pretty good. I had part of me wanted to do stuff with Cloudflare, but I don't know. Like the tunnels are really nice and really good, and there's a lot of really good stuff with Cloudflare, but I don't know yet if I want to do that. Pork Bun's got some good DNS stuff, but I don't know. Maybe what I'll do is with one of my sites, I'll play around with Cloudflare and see how I like it.
Yeah.
This just went really technical, didn't it?
Yeah.
We don't get to talk technical so much, though.
Yeah.
And I couldn't for the life of me remember what we said. We told everybody last week what we were going to talk about today. There was something that we said we were going to talk about it, and I don't remember what it was. And so now my homework for after today is to go back and re-listen to it so we can talk about it next week. I've just been racking my brain to try to remember, and I just can't. And Wednesday snuck up on me, so I didn't have time to,
Yeah, we kind of need to.
We need to build something that we talk to each other back and forth with, what we're at least going to start topics with, to give us an idea.
We need an intern.
Yeah, that would help too.
Yep.
That might help a little bit. But until then, we can figure something else out.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Maybe. We'll figure something out.
We always do. We always figure. I've been trying to figure stuff out for day to day, like checklists, and trying to build in some sort of a planning system for my life. Because, yeah, this whole winging it thing, and then before I know it, it's, in the afternoon, I got to go pick the kids up from school.
Yeah.
Which that alone has been a pain in the ass to remember.
Mm-hmm.
Because they changed up. They rolled all the kids back, so they changed up when drop off and pickup times. Like they changed the entire school start and end times this year. So it used to be you drop them off at 9 for a 9:10 bell or whatever, or 9:20 bell, and then they would get out of school at like 4:10 or 4:15 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's been changed. So now they have a like 7:15 bell and they get off at 2:30. So they've got to be at school by about 7 a.m. instead of 9-ish, which has been a real joy to remember.
Yeah.
But it's the picking them up at 2:30 in the afternoon that's been the most pain in the ass. It's like, could you not make it any more inconvenient for like everybody else in the life?
Yeah, having to like completely readjust that whole schedule.
And thankfully, like I start school next week, and it hasn't interfered with that just yet. And I don't think it will, because like my class will start at 9, but it's like instead of doing Zoom like I've done for my last couple semesters, it's actually going to be on campus now. So it's going to be from like 9 to 1, and then I get a few hours off, and then I got to be back up there at 6 to 9:30 2 days a week. So I'm like, well, this is going to be fun. Absolutely loving this idea. But it's going to be photography in the morning and then video and sound in the evening. So at least the classes that I'll be taking are going to be kind of fun again. And then I'm back to virtual in October for web and social media and intro to film appreciation. Which I am looking forward to those too. I mean, because they're going to be at least one's going to be fairly easy. I mean, web and social media, I might know a thing or two about that. Maybe.
Right?
I have an inkling that I might have some knowledge.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Do you I happen to know what the weather's going to be like this weekend or Friday up there?
No, I can look.
Because I figure we need some dad time, so we'll talk about the weather.
Sunny,
All right, good.
71.
Oh, not entirely too hot, but warm enough to go in the pool.
Yeah, that should be good.
I'm bringing her swim stuff.
Cool.
So that'll work. We'll just have ourselves a grand old time up there. Oh, how was the yard sale stuff? Did you sell that awning?
Uh, so, yeah, about that. Um, so I had a website client that I was supposed to have their website done this weekend. And so I was like getting stuff loaded up Friday morning, and I was going to take it out and work on getting do the sale all day Friday because I had my family reunion on Saturday. I didn't know like how long I'd be there, or like when I'd get back, you know. So it's like, okay, Friday all day is going to be my day, and then I'll do some on Sunday, you know. So um, Friday, I was getting stuff loaded up. She gives me a call. She goes, "Hey, hate to do this. I just got a call. I'm going to be on the news tomorrow at 7 a.m. Can you get my website done by then?"
How much extra did you charge her?
I didn't.
Should have for a rush job.
Yeah, I know, but she started feeding me clients before I ever started her website. So she's been
Uh,
feeding me new clients. So
okay.
I was already giving her like a discount because she's feeding me more work.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
granted,
I get it.
some of the clients aren't like following through, but like they're like kicking the tires, and I'm like, just fucking give me money.
Yeah, right.
So, but she's giving me good leads, you know, and I gotta like take time and like keep going back and following through with them. So she's I think she's going to be a good client because she has a whole nother website I have to build coming up soon for another project she's doing. I already did one website for her. I just did her spa business. And then she has another one coming up. And then, you know, she's feeding me leads and she's going to keep feeding me leads. So I was
Well, it
kind of
sounds like
like,
it could be good.
yeah. So instead of getting to do the yard sale thing, I spent all day Friday speed running a website, and pretty sure I burnt my brain out because Saturday I was just like, "Bleh." I woke up and she was like, "This link doesn't work. This picture doesn't work." And I'm like, "I'm sure it doesn't." I've never done a 24-hour website before. I don't think
Oof.
ever. I don't think I've ever pulled one off in 20. Like, I had the like structure up, you know, I had the bones up, but like I was just like, I don't think I've ever like speed ran that. I've never speed run one that fast ever.
Yep.
And I was using like some chat GPT shit to like get me some text to throw in there. Cause I was like, there's some things that I don't know about. And she was busy trying to get stuff ready for her interview and like making sure she had stuff ready. She was trying to get me pictures to put on the site, and she was trying to get me information, and I was like, "Can you write me up this?" She's like, I don't know." So it's like, you know, we were both kind of scattered, so I was just like, I'm like, "Hey, Chat GPT, write me about what this facial is." And so like there's some stuff on the website that still isn't quite right that she's gonna like take some time this week and like sit down and write the proper descriptions of things on. And So it was fun. It was fun, but it was literally like, I don't know. I went from 9 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. just speed running a website and then crashed so hard.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. So I didn't get to do any garage sale stuff. So might have to like set up a special day and do that.
Sucks.
But I do have like everything collected into piles, so I think I'll just go and like um maybe like start putting stuff on Craigslist or something.
Probably work like Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace.
No, no, I don't want to use Facebook. I hate Facebook.
The marketplace is actually pretty good for selling stuff like that.
Yeah. I'm working on deleting my Facebook account, trying to like export all of the posts and everything so I can import it onto my website so then I can just straight up delete my whole fucking account.
I don't think I'm going to delete my Facebook account. I think what I'm going to do is migrate all of my personal stuff off of it, or a lot of it off of it, and then um, set up business pages for different stuff. Because like Facebook for that kind of stuff is still fairly important.
Yeah. That's what it's something I was trying to figure out was how I can delete my personal account and then still have a business account.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do that, but I'll figure that out.
I don't know if you can delete, because you have to admin a business account with a personal account. So you won't be able to delete a personal account.
Well, they
But
have
you
a
don't
new
necessarily have to keep things posted to it, I don't think.
Yeah, they have a new separate business manager page, so I was gonna like check into that and see if I could just use that only.
Yeah, but I think you had to have a regular account to admin it.
Yeah, I'll figure it out.
I mean, it's one of those things where it's like having it, I don't mind having one or whatever. I don't use Facebook on a regular basis for anything. So it just kind of just sits there, but as long as I'm not interacting or giving it information, like if I can control what information I give it, I don't care.
Yeah,
And that's the thing with Facebook, is you just have to really be careful about what information you give it.
yeah,
Because even if you have your stuff privated to like friends only or whatever, a lot of these these stupid quiz things that people do, or the other little app sides, they will give information about their friends is part of the whole. When you agree to it, you're not just giving your information out, you're giving any information that can be collected off your friends list. So if you have your personal stuff shared to your friends and your friends are using that, then your information that you've been given to your friends, all the app that they have or whatever company or whatever that's running these stupid little things has access to all that as well.
yeah,
So that's just something to keep in mind, especially for everyone out there, that if you don't want these extra third party companies having access to your stuff, and you have friends that are sharing these things or doing these things, they're giving your information away.
yeah. That's why I want to not have a personal account.
Well, and that's where I just have been scaling back what information I share to. I just tightly control what information gets shared on Facebook.
Yeah,
But yeah, for you privacy conscious people out there, be careful who you're Facebook friends with, because they can fuck your shit up too.
yep,
Which is somewhat unfortunate.
yeah,
But when you gotta know what Hogwarts house you really should be part of based upon the foods you eat and who your first pet was and what your first street you lived on was, there's no way that could be a phishing attempt. Because that's not how that works, right?
That's not how that works at all.
There's no phishing attempts from that. No, never. Idiots. For those of you that don't know or don't understand what I'm saying right there, is a lot of times those quizzes are designed to gather information that usually show up on security questions when you open up a site or you open up an account somewhere. And if you're not using two-factor authentication and you're not doing the extra security things that are annoying as fuck, then and you're relying on the security answers to change things like passwords or to change certain things on the account, that is they utilize kind of, they call it social hacking, to gain that information so that they can figure it out. Also, passwords. If you're not using some sort of a password manager and coming up with very unique passwords for each thing and then just loading them in from a password manager, you're doing something wrong. I know Apple and Google, and I believe even Microsoft, can do and save password stuff. It's not the most secure, but it's better than just having whatever you can remember as a password. LastPass is a good one. Bitwarden is what I use and is a very good password manager that way as well. I would utilize password managers and I would utilize some sort of an authenticator for two-factor authentication. Don't rely on emails or text messages for authenticating stuff, especially if it's something that's really important to you, like your bank or anything that that you absolutely need. That would be my recommendation. I'm in the process right now of switching to a different authenticator program than what I was using. Nothing was wrong with what I was using, but I'm going to a hardware one, which is like a little USB stick that I'll carry with me, and I can either NFC tap it to my phone or plug it into whatever computer I'm in for the two-factor authentication stuff. But that would be my suggestion, is to ensure that you are being safe, you are protecting yourself that way, and you're not just relying on a password that you can remember easily or the same password for multiple sites. Because if one of those sites, for some reason, their security gets hacked and they have your password, then they can gain access to a bunch of other stuff as well.
Yeah.
It's just some small common sense things that are, that you can do.
Don't use the same password for everything.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my parting wisdom, is use a password manager, use two-factor authentication. If you just want to use your phone for it, I would highly recommend Authy. Let me look. Authy, AUTHY, is what I've been using as an authenticator for quite some time now. I am switching to a YubiKey, which is the hardware one that I was talking about. And then for a password manager, I personally use Bitwarden, but LastPass is very good. There's a handful of really good ones out there. But yeah, just protect yourself. Absolutely protect yourself, and don't rely on just conventional things, because if someone's determined, especially if it's a very simple password, it can be bad. You have any parting wisdom there, Brian?
Mm, use password manager. I use the one. I use the one that's built into Chrome, like Google's password manager, just because
Yep.
it's simple and it's there, and it saves the passwords across like my Chromebook, saves them on my laptop, saves them on my phone. I don't have to remember them. All I have to do is remember my thumbprint. So
Yep.
I have to remember my main Google password, and I have to remember my thumbprint, and that's it. So
Bitwarden will allow you. They have a browser extension, so you can do it directly from there. And then for your phone, they have an app that will integrates in with the browsers, and you can, if you go up to a password, you just tap on the Bitwarden thing. I use my thumbprint, and it will push in whatever password that you had saved for it.
yeah.
I have not used LastPass, so I don't know how it works that way.
It sounds like a dumb idea, but have like your couple of important ones written on a piece of paper in a safe place in case something happens to you and somebody needs to get into your system.
Yeah, like a safe or a safety deposit box, or where you
Yeah.
keep wills, passports, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Also, Google has something called Inactivity Manager, I think is what it's called. Some Google Inactivity something. So you can set it up so if you like don't log into Google for so many amount of days or months, it will automatically give your account to a set person. So like you could have it so like if you don't log into your account for like 2 or 3 months, it'll just transfer control over to Hillary.
Yeah, I do have that set up.
Yeah. So it's something worth looking into too, in case,
Yeah.
something bad happens.
So what I have for that is I have a thumb drive that sits in my fireproof safe, and it has like master access stuff to everything. So in case something happens to me, it can all go. It'll all go to her that way.
I have a thumb drive that is written on it. It says last will and testament, and what it actually is a set of explosives that'll trigger everything on the property.
Yeah. You plug it in, and suddenly it's Beirut and Allen.
Plug it in, and the whole fucking property just explodes.
All right, my friend. Till next week.
All right. Later.